Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma. So why there are only 5 participants? What about others? Okay, so let them join. So now the sessions are going on for 1 hour, right? Sessions 1 hour అవుతుంది కదా మిథున్?
Sir.
Sessions 1 hour అవుతున్నాయి కదా ఇప్పుడు?
అవును సార్, 40 minutes.
Okay, 40 minutes. Right. Okay, we'll start the session, right? So today we are going to discuss transmission length, so which was in the 4th module, right? So we'll first know about what exactly the transmission length and how it is going to be calculated, and what are the effects which are going to be addressed, so while deciding the transmission length of the member. So before that, I would like to show you one video, so where you can able to understand first of all what is the pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. Okay, so once you can understand this, then whatever the topic which you are going to discuss, you can able to understand it better. Okay, so let me share you the screen and let me play first this. Yeah.
Pre-stressed concrete. In case of big concrete construction projects like bridges, steel reinforcement bars alone won't be sufficient to provide the necessary tensile strength. In this case, pre-stressed concrete is being used. In pre-stressing, the rods or tendons are stretched along the axis and cement is poured. Later, when the tendons are released, the compression is generated at the bottom, which tries to counterbalance the compression due to loading at the top part of the beam. The principle behind pre-stressed concrete is that compressive stresses induced by the high-strength steel tendons in a concrete member before loads are applied. This will balance the stresses imposed in the member during the service. Pre-stressed concrete can be used for the construction of roofs, floors, walls, and bridges with longer unsupported spans. Pre-stressing is generally done by 2 methods: pre-tensioned concrete and post-tensioned concrete. Pre-tensioned concrete. Pre-tensioned concrete is those in which the tendons are tensioned before pouring of concrete. The tendons are initially tensioned and anchored at both ends, and then concrete is poured over it and cured. When the concrete attains desired strength, the tendons are released and projections are cut out. The pre-stress imparts into beam through bond action. Post-tensioned concrete.
Yeah. So I think now you people understood what exactly the pre-tensioning is, right? So in the pre-tensioned system, what we did, so we are first stretching the strand, okay, to its tensile strength. Okay, so then after, concrete is going to be poured in the mold. After concrete attaining its maximum compression strength, so you're going to cut the ends, so where the concrete is going to be squeezed. Okay, so where the sunking of concrete is going to be takes place. So that is what exactly the pre-tensioning means. So here in the 4th module, which we are going to study about transfer of pre-stress in pre-tensioning system. Okay, how the load is going to be transformed or transmissioned into the concrete in pre-tensioned system. Okay, that is what we are going to learn in the 4th module. So let me share the PPT. So here we can able to understand it clearly. So in pre-tension members, so usually the stretched tendons, okay, usually transfers the pre-stress to the concrete, which is leading to the self-equilibrium system. So why this pre-stressing why this pre-tension members are going to be pre-stressed? To make that member into equilibrium position, right? So here, for making that into equilibrium position, there are few mechanisms. So there are mechanism which are used to transfer the pre-stress into the member. Okay, so it will be different for both pre-tension and post-tension members. The mechanisms are not same. So the transfer of this transmission of pre-stress is going to be explained for pre-tension members and post-tension members in a different way. Okay, they are not same. So here let's talk about how we are going to know the transmission of pre-stress taking place in pre-tension member. Okay, then we can learn about the post-tension member later on. Okay, so let us take pre-tension member. So usually there is no anchorage device at the ends. What happens in the video just now you have seen, in the pre-tensioned bed, initially you stretched the strands. After pouring the concrete, after concrete attaining its strength, you are cutting the ends. So when you are cutting the ends, it says that your member is not anchored. What do you mean anchored? Anchored in the sense your member should hold, the strands should hold at ends. Okay, when there is no holding at ends, why? Because after attaining its strength, what you are doing, you are cutting the strands. So when you're cutting the strands, it says that your member is not anchored at the ends. So that's what happening in pre-tension member. Usually there is no anchor device at the ends. So the following picture, which resembling here, is railway sleeper, where the ends are not anchored. Okay, so when the ends are not anchored, they are going to be pre-tensioned members. Okay, so at ends of the pre-tension railway sleepers are the best example. So usually what is the mechanism for making the member pre-tensioned, okay, and holding the member, holding the whole concrete which is under pre-stress? What is the mechanism? Usually there are three mechanisms takes place in creating the bond between concrete and steel, in making the load transformed into the concrete. How your strands are transferring the forces into the concrete, it is due to some mechanism. So what are the mechanisms? There are three mechanisms. First one is adhesion between concrete and steel. So this is one mechanism, right? So let me show up with the pointer also, right? Yeah, so this is one, adhesion between concrete and steel. Next one is mechanical bond at the concrete and steel, right? And the next one is friction in presence of transverse compression. Okay, so these are the three different mechanisms which makes your member pre-stress. Okay, so what is the first one, which is adhesion? What do you mean adhesion? So you have to know the difference between abrasion, attrition, and adhesion. Okay, first one, abrasion. I think in your concrete technology lab you have done abrasion test. Abrasion is nothing but the friction, I mean the wearing which is taking place between two different material. Okay, so the surface interaction which is developing between two different material, so that is called abrasion. And what is attrition? Attrition is in between two materials which are of same kind. Okay, that is called attrition. But what is adhesion? Adhesion is nothing but a bond which is created between two different materials. Okay, understand? So in abrasion and attrition, it is only a surface interaction. Okay, but in adhesion, it is nothing but bond between two different material. Here the bonding is in between tendon and concrete. Okay, so that we called as an adhesion. And second one is mechanical transmission, the load which is transformed from strands to the concrete, so that is called mechanism transmission. And the next one is friction, right? Friction in presence of transverse compression. Okay, so that is what we have to know about three mechanisms. Out of all these three mechanisms, the most important mechanism is mechanical bond. Okay, how this bond was created? So the bond was created while you are casting the concrete in a casting bed, right? So why? Because your strand was stretched and you are pouring the concrete. So then what happening? There is a bond creating between the concrete and strand or a tendon. So which will be the primary mechanism in the bond of intended wires. Okay, so there are usually three different wires which we are going to use for pre-stressing, for pre-tensioning. What are they? The first one is indented wires. The second one is twisted strands. And third one is deformed bars. Okay. So these are the three different members which you are going to use for pre-stressing of pre-tension members, right? Indented wires. What do you mean intended wires? I will show you the picture how the intended wires looks like. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. See, have you seen the picture? Called intended wires. Intended wires are usually something like, a circular rod which is having different threading parts. Okay. So different projections on it. They are called intended wires. See, intend ante entama indention. So meerandaru hardness test chesaru kada. You all did hardness test in your strength of materials. What do you mean indentation? Indentation is nothing but impression which is falling on the material. So by using an intender, you are doing some indentation on the material. So that is called indentation. So a rod which is four-sided oval intended, that is called intended rod. So three-sided deformed indentation, and this is the so these rods are called rods. Okay, and the next part of called, so which is nothing but twisted rod. Twisted rod, and it looks like this. So this is a usual pre-stressing strands which we are going to use for pre-tensioning and post-tensioning of the member. And the next one is the deformed bar. What do you mean deformed bar? The bars which we are using for RCC structure, reinforced cement concrete structures ki manam use chese rods say deformed bars, HVSD bars. Usually these are the rods which you are going to use for pre-stressing. So here the mechanical bond which is creating between the bar and tendon and the concrete is nothing but mechanical bond. So where the transmission of force taking place. Okay. So here you have to understand it clearly. The pre-stress is transformed or transferred over a certain length from each end of a member, which is called the transmission length or transfer length. Okay, what do you mean? Guys, please mute yourself. I request guys, please mute. Yeah. So what do you mean pre-stressing, Amma? So how can you define a pre-stressing? So pre-stressing is nothing but the length transmission length. What do you mean transmission length? Transmission length is nothing but the length required, okay, to transfer the force into the concrete, okay, so which creates the bond between concrete and tendon, right? So the length required. So what is the length required? So you require some length to create the bond between concrete and steel, okay? Otherwise you can't transfer the force, okay? So let us take an example. Let us take a bar and try to pull the strands at both ends, okay? So initially in pre-stressing, what happens? Your rod will be under elastic, okay? Then your rod will be under stretch. So once after pouring the concrete, when you cut the strands, your concrete will get squeezed. And why your concrete is getting squeezing? Concrete is getting squeezing because your rod is behaving like a elastic member where it want to regain its original position. That we called as Poisson's effect. Kada? What do you mean Poisson's ratio? Poisson's ratio is nothing but lateral strain by longitudinal strain. So when you stretch your rod will reduce in its dia, along with your rod will increase in its length, right? So when you cut the strands, what happens? Your rod will regain its original length and dia. At that point, your concrete will undergo squeezing. So that is called a sinking effect under, right? So with that only the transmission force, okay, with that length, your member is subjected to pre-tension, right? So here, read out this sentence clearly. The pre-stress is transferred over a certain length from each end of a member, which is called the transmission length or transfer length under, okay? So the stress in the tendon is zero at the ends of the member. Why it is zero? Why? Because at ends you can't see any change in its length, but you can see the change in its length at the center of the member. Why? Because when you stretch the member, your member will try to elongate at its center. Okay, so even the lateral and longitudinal change in dimension you can able to see only at the center of the member. Okay, so that's why at ends you can't see any kind of stresses in the tendon, but there will be more effect, more stress change over in the center of the member. So let's see the picture how it looks like. So this is the variation of pre-stress in tendon along transmission length. Okay, so let's take a member. You can see where the transmission length taking place. So here the more stress variation where you can able to observe in the member. Okay, so the graph between initial pre-stress and the transmission length, LT is nothing but transmission length. So your graph is something like a parabola, right? So it is not linear. Why? Because your member will try to squeeze and you can see the stress variation along in its axis only. Okay, so this effect is called a Hoyer effect. What do you mean Hoyer effect? After stretching the tendon, the diameter reduces from original value due to the Poisson's effect. Okay, Antena? So why? Because in Poisson's ratio, when you release the load, your member will regain its original shape and size. Okay, shape and size and along in its both lateral and longitudinal direction. So that when the pre-stress is transferred after the hardening of concrete, the ends of the tendon sink in concrete. Okay, so eppudu meeru strands nu cut chestunnaru, you are going to cut the strands after concrete attaining in its strength. After concrete attaining its strength, అంటే concrete harden అయిన తర్వాత మీరు strands cut చేస్తున్నారు. Then what happens? The ends of the tendon will sink in concrete. A rod ఏమవుతుంది concrete లోకి sink అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. I will show you how the rod will sink into the concrete, right? So the pre-stress at the ends of the tendon will be almost zero. Why? Because your tendons are sinking into the concrete. So the diameter of the tendon regain its original value towards the end over the transmission length. Okay, so towards the transmission length only you can able to see the pre-stressing taking place within the rod. Okay, so that effect is called Hoyer effect. So this helps. Why this Hoyer effect is going to be helpful to us? This helps helps in transferring pre-stress from the tendon to the concrete. Okay, so this transmission length you are supposed to calculate to make your member to have a exact pre-tensioning. Okay, then only you can able to have the equilibrium status when the member is under service loads. Okay, so let me show you how this Hoyer effect is going to be taken place, right? So let's see the first picture. So this is the applying tension to tendon. So this is one end and this is the centermost portion of the member. So this is the original diameter of the tendon or a rod. And what happens at center, the diameter after stretching, you can able to see the decrease in diameter of the rod. Kada? So when you try to pull the strands, initially your strand will be having less in dia at the center. At end you will have the original dia. After pouring the concrete into the mold, because we are all talking about the pre-tensioning. Pre-tensioning lo eppudu, what is the basic you have to remember? In pre-tensioning, stressing will be done initially and then concrete is going to be poured. In post-tensioning, after pouring the concrete, after concrete attaining its strength, you are going to insert the strand and you are going to do the post-tensioning. Understand? So that difference you have to be clear. So now we are talking about the pre-tensioning. In pre-tensioning, first you are supposed to stretch the strand. After tension to the tendon, then after, what is the second step? You are going to cast the concrete, right? You are going to pour the concrete in the mold. After pouring the concrete, same, your rod will have less in dia at center, okay, at some location within the towards the center of the member, and original dia will be there at the end. And what is the third stage? You are going to cut the strands, and after concrete attaining its strength, characteristic compression strength, you are going to cut the strand at ends. ఎప్పుడైతే స్ట్రాండ్స్ ని మీరు కట్ చేస్తారో ఏమవుతుంది చెప్పండి? Your rod will try to regain its original dia, regain its original length. That the sinking of tendon takes place. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, you can able to observe very clearly sinking of tendon, right? Isn't it? So you can see the sinking of tendon. So here the short length of the rod is sinked into the concrete. When the rod is sinked into the concrete, what happens? Your concrete also will get squeezed. When concrete will get squeezed, what happens? Your concrete will undergo with some hogging. Okay, so then your concrete will have more strength rather than its capacity kada. Usual ga concrete ku undalసిన strength kanna meer inka ekku strength istunnaro with the help of pre-tensioning. In this pre-tensioning, this rod, this tendon is squeezing your concrete. When your concrete is subjected to service load, your concrete will be under equilibrium condition in spite of sagging, in spite of deflection. Okay, so that is what we have to understand. This is called Hoyer effect. Okay, Hoyer effect ante ide anamata. Understand? So if, because in theory, in your external examination, people may ask you, what do you mean Hoyer effect? In Hoyer effect, you have to understand that at ends, the tendons are not subjected to any kind of stresses. When the member is subjected to squeeze, so automatically there is a free stress at the ends, and the sinking of tendons are going to be takes place. Okay, this concrete should be of good quality and adequate compaction for proper transfer of pre-stress over the transmission length. If the concrete is not good, if the surface of the tendon are not proper, so definitely you can't see the mechanism in between concrete and tendon are going to be takes place. Okay, so that going to affect your bonding. When the bonding is affected, automatically the transmission length is also going to be affected. Okay, so that you have to make it clear. And the transmission length is always depends on few parameters. What are the parameters which are going to be influence the transmission length? Transmission length ante మీ అందరికి అర్థమైంది కదా, the length required at the ends of pre-stressing member for building up the pre-stressing into the concrete. Concrete lo pre-stressing ni induce cheyali ante you require some length of that member to transfer the force to the concrete. That length is called transmission length. Transmission length antaru, lekapothe danni transfer length ani kuda antaru. Okay, so let's know what are the factors which are going to be influence the transmission length. That is also very important theoretical. Okay, what are the factors? First one, type of tendon. What are the types of tendons? Just now we have gone through. One is injuded tendon, other one is twisted rod, and third one is deformed bar. So the type of tendon is also going to be influenced in terms of calculating the transmission length and in terms of creating the bond between concrete and tendon. And next one is size of tendon. Tendon yokka size ante in terms of diameter. Okay, the size of tendons are also going to be influence the transmission length. Okay, more dia, definitely it will have less bond strength, and it will have the transmission length won't be effective. Okay, so stress in tendon is also going to be influence the transmission length and surface deformation of the tendon. So if the tendon surface is having undulations, surface tendon is having more kind of deformations. Okay, it is not even, so definitely it is also going to be affect the transmission length. Along with that, strength of concrete at transfer. While you are transferring the force, while you are pre-tensioning the strands, okay, pre-tensioning of the strands, the concrete should attain its compression strength. Then only you have to cut the strands. Otherwise, what happens? Your concrete won't be squeezed. Your pre-tensioning won't be transformed into the concrete. Okay, so if you are using a grade of concrete of M20, let's see, your concrete should attain 20 MPa minimum strength. Okay, so before you cut the strand from the anchorage ends. Okay, and next one, pace of cutting of tendon. How you are cutting your tendon? What is the pace of cutting of tendon is also very, very important. Okay, in terms of like abrupt flame cutting or slow release of jack, mere chestner, pace of cutting is also very important. Suddenly, if you cut the strands at ends, okay, so that is also not preferable. Okay, so for transferring the load into the concrete. Okay, so whether you are cutting with the rod, whether you are cutting with some flame, or you are going to release the jacks, they are not going to cut the strands. They are going to first, initially, they are going to pull the strands and which are going to be anchored with some jacks anamata. And then after pouring the concrete and after attaining a concrete strength, they are going to release the jacks. Jacks release చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, strands also will get reduced in its length, where your concrete will get squeezed. So అలా కూడా చేస్తుంటారు. So the transmission length also will influence based on this type of cutting. And the next one is presence of confining reinforcement. How the reinforcement was confined with the concrete is also very, very important. Okay, so don't think that only pre-tensioning strands will be there in pre-casting members. Okay, no, if you see any RCC beam, along with the pre-stressing strands, there will be some reinforcement in the beam, right? What kind of reinforcement it is? It is called skin reinforcement. So that is called confining reinforcement. So how much reinforcement you are providing, okay, that also is going to be affect the transmission length. Okay, that is called confining reinforcement. And next one is effect of creep. What do you mean creep? Creep is a time dependent one. Okay, so the deformation with a constant loading, so that is called creep. So effect of creep is also influence the transmission length. Compaction of concrete, how good you are compacting the concrete, right? So after pouring the concrete, your concrete should spread evenly into the mold, and there should not be any kind of air voids or honeycombs in the concrete. Then only the transmission length will be proper. Okay, and the load transformation takes place in a proper way, right? And finally, amount of concrete cover. Concrete cover is also very, very important, which is going to affect the transmission length, right? So these are the factors which are going to affect the transmission length. So by that, you have to remember it carefully. So let's see the transmission length, which needs to be calculated to check what? Why we have to calculate the transmission length? You have to calculate the transmission length to check the adequacy of pre-stress in the tendon over the length. Okay, so until how much length of strand you required to transfer the force into the concrete. Okay, so here I will show you some examples. What is the length of transmission length of a member required based on the diameter of the rod. Okay, so here it was given it clearly as per the code 1343 2012. 1980 is the old code, amma. So please correct it. 1343 2012 is the latest code for pre-stressing. So what it recommending? It recommending the same values. In absence of test data, these values are applicable when the concrete is well compacted, its strength is not less than 35 megapascal at transfer, and the tendons are released gradually. The recommended value of transmission length as given like this. So this is the codal transmission length value which is recommended by the code. But sir, whether we have to follow the codal value directly or is there any empirical formula? And meer adigite, definitely there are two empirical formulas to calculate the transmission length. One empirical formula, so which you are going to calculate with the help of some empirical equation. I will let you know on Wednesday, because we are going to solve few problems on Wednesday how to calculate the transmission length. And the next one, the first formula is based on the Hoyer effect, and the second one is based on the Krishnamurthy's empirical relation. There is a one formula which was developed by Krishnamurthy. So he derived one empirical equation to calculate the transmission length. Okay, so those values which we are going to compare it with the codal values. Okay, the codal value is always recommendable only when your concrete is well compacted and the strength is not less than 35 Newton per mm square. Okay, so why 35 Newton per mm square, sir? And meeku doubt raavochu, because you are having different grades of concretes kada. Why only 35 Newton per mm square? Why? Because for going for pre-stressing vellali ante the minimum concrete should be of grade M35. Very, very important. Please try to remember. Okay, M35 stands for high strength concrete. Less than M35, it is not high strength concrete. Okay, so to make your concrete pre-stress, so obviously your concrete should be high strength. That's why your concrete should not be less than 35 megapascal. Okay, MPa. Okay, MPa and Newton per mm square and okate, right? So 35 MPa to transfer to transfer the forces, and tendons are released gradually, right? So what the code is recommending, see, for plain and intended wires. So just now we have gone through three different wires, kada, intended wire, twisted rod, and hardened rod. Okay, sorry, hard deformed rods. So based on the different types of rods, the value of transmission length was given by the code. So LT is equal to 100 pi. What is pi here? Pi stands for dia. Okay, 100 into, let us take the diameter of the rod is 10 mm. So by that, the transmission length is 100 mm. 100 mm ante, which is nothing but 1 meter. So 1 meter should be the transmission length for a plain and intended wires. Okay, for a crumpled wire ante twisted wire. For the twisted wire, the transmission length should be 65 dia. Okay, which should be less than the plain and intended wires. For strands, it should be 30 dia. Okay, please try to remember. This table is very, very important for competitive exams. Okay, this table is very, very important. So even in the gate also, they may ask you what are the transmission lengths for different materials, for different wires. For plain and intended wires, what is the transmission length? 100 dia. Remember, for crumpled wire and a twisted wire and okate, which is 65 dia. For strands, which is 30 dia. Okay, please try to remember. These are the transmission lengths which was given by the code. But for solving problems, what we do, we are going to use the empirical formulas, which was developed by Hoare effect. And the next one is, which was empirical equation, which was developed by Krishna. Okay, so Krishnamurti. So these formulas, I will let you know while solving the problems. Okay. So here pi is nothing but diameter of the rod. So here, very, very important, to avoid the transmission length in the clear span of the beam. Okay, so what do you mean clear span? See, for a beam, you have to know three parameters. Clear span is nothing but in between the supports. Okay, effective span is nothing but center to center of the beam. Overall span ante end to end of the beam. Okay, you have to remember this very clearly. So let us take this beam. Okay, so what is clear? So this is called clear. Antena, right? What is effective? From center to center, which is called effective, right? What is overall span? From end to end. Okay, so this is what we have to know. So to avoid the transmission length in the clear span of a beam, so what are the recommendations given by? So first one, to have an overall, to have a overhang of a simply supported member beyond the support by a distance of at least half of effective length undalanta. So let me show you that. Yeah, so let's see this. So this is a simply supported beam, so which is supporting on a supports, right? So here, see what is your transmission length. LT is the transmission length. So let us take a simply supported member. How much transmission length is to be placed to transfer the load from strands to the concrete? At this end, it should be half of LT, and the other end, it should be half of LT. Altogether, it is LT anamata. Okay. After calculating your LT, the rod which are going to be used for making your member pre-tensioned. Okay. So that length, which we are going to call it as an transmission length. The transmission length ante edi. So this is the transmission length. From this point to this point is called transmission length of a simply supported member. Okay, so half of this and half of the other end, both ends added together, which will give the overall transmission length of the member. LTA manu calculate chestunam. Okay, so this half of LT is going to be used to stretch the strands. Okay, so our strands man stretch chesinappudu aa length anamata, which is going to used to make your concrete pre-stress. Okay, concrete మనం pre-tension. So concrete pre-stress చేయడానికి మనం use చేసేది. So that is the transmission length. Okay, so let us take another example, which is end of a member, which is fixity. Member ని మనం ఇలా simply support చేయగలుగుతాం. At the same way, the member which is going to be fixed within the support anamata, that is called fixity. So when you are fixing it, your effective length will be the overall member which is under fixed condition. Okay, ఎంతైతే member fix అయ్యిందో that length is called effective length. Sorry, that length is called transmission length. Okay, so that very clear. For a simply supported, your transmission length will be half of the transmission length. For a member which is in fixity, your transmission length will be the overall transmission length. Okay, LT. Understand? So this is called LT and this is called half LT for simply supported, and this is for full member. Clear? So this is what about the transmission length. Understand? Yeah. So that's what about the transmission length. And next we are going to learn about the development length. మీ అందరికీ తెలిసే ఉంటుంది. In columns there will be development length. In beams there will be development length. What do you mean development length? Okay, so that we are going to know. Why? Because we can able to calculate the development length only by summation of transmission length plus bond length. Okay, so after knowing the transmission length, by knowing the bond length, the summation of these two is nothing but a development length of the member in your beams. Okay, that we will know in the next class. Okay, so any doubts related to the transmission length, you can ask me. So we have only 2 minutes. Guys, any doubts? You can unmute yourself and you can ask me the doubts. Yeah. Anyone? I hope you all understood what is the transmission length, right? See, Malli definition cheptunnan chodamma. Transmission length is nothing but the length required at the ends of a pre-tensioned member for built up stress in concrete. Concrete lo stress an manam build cheyali ante you required the tendon should have some length. Okay, that length is required to hold and pull it. Kada ఇప్పుడు చూడండి ఎండ్ లో మీకు చాలా చిన్న, if the length of the rod is very small, can you able to hold that rod? You can't hold. When you can hold the rod with some preferred length, then only you can able to stretch the rod and you can able to induce the stresses into the concrete. That is what exactly about the transmission length. Inga simple ga cheppali ante. Okay, so the length required at the ends of the pre-tensioned member to build up the stress in concrete. Understand? That is called transmission length, right? So basically in short pre-tensioned units, what happens, it controls the working bending moment and shear forces which is going to be allowed on the section, right? So that is how the transmission length depends mainly on the diameter and surface characteristics of the wire. Understand? So that is how the diameter of the wire and elastic properties of the steel and concrete is always important to transfer load properly into the concrete. Okay, not only that, even the coefficient of friction between steel and concrete also should be good. If the coefficient of friction between concrete and steel is not good, so it won't create a proper bond. Without proper bond, you can't able to transfer pre-tensioning into the concrete. Okay, so that's why all these are very, very important. Clear? Any doubts? Guys, any doubts? I request all of you, please bring notes from Wednesday, because we are going to solve problems, right? Wednesday class ke andar notes will techi pettukovali. So I will show you how to solve the problems. You have to do along with me parallelly. Okay, please don't forget. Any doubts? That's it. So I